Hello everyone, I'm Mike Levin, and my Kickstarter campaign called My Slice of the Pie is based on this, the $35 computer that has kicked off a revolution in the computer maker hacker space, but has still not become quite as accessible as it should to the absolute newcomer. And I'm here to help educate you with a video series and empower you to pursue your dreams without the reliance on technical people. So how does that happen? I'm going to be breaking the education down into 4 slices based on this $35 computer. And they are Linux, which is a portable operating system. The important thing to remember about it is the portability, which means that your education will not be bound to the particular Raspberry Pi hardware, but will also apply to the incredibly popular cloud platforms such as the Amazon Computing Cloud, which people are using to avoid having to manage hardware directly. But it's much better to have the direct hardware experience. It will also apply to the old school rack-mounted server approach and the increasingly popular micro or nano server movement that the Raspberry Pi represents, but is being followed on by such companies as Intel with the Edison. It's a very large movement. The next slice of the pie is the incredibly important Python programming language. And the important thing to know about that is it is accessible. Accessible to complete newcomers to programming and technology. You can be productive in your very first sitting. Some people might say, why not JavaScript? Because if you want to do web user interface design these days, you have to learn JavaScript. Well, I completely acknowledge that, and I put it in a very similar category as Linux. It's one of the supplementary languages you will need to learn, but Python is a better native language to get started with because how quickly you can be productive and how broad a set of problems you can use Python to tackle. And it's a programming language, which means you've got to actually write code somewhere, which brings us to our next slice of the pie called Vim. Vim is a text editor, and the important thing to know about that is it's always there. Longevity. There are many text editors out there, some very popular ones such as Sublime, but the VI program that the improved version Vim is based on is actually part of the standard for the portable operating system that Linux is based on, called Unix. And if you learn Vim and VI, you'll be able to sit down almost anywhere and have an incredibly powerful code editing, text editing environment that will serve you probably for the rest of your life. And that leads us to the final slice. Code for the rest of your life? Well, that is indeed possible these days, thanks to distributed version control and a program called Git. Git makes your code safe. It seems very related to longevity. Think of this as how long your tools will actually serve you, and think of this as how long your code will actually exist. And these collectively I refer to as the short stack. And in technology, it's very rare to be able to focus on a small set of tools and achieve the same sort of mastery that a musician might achieve with a violin, becoming a master violinist, or a carpenter with their tools becoming a master carpenter. If you focus on these 4 tools, you will have not only portability and easy to learn language, long-lived tools and long-lived code, you will also be extremely relevant in today's programming world, because 3 out of the 4 are like the pea in the pool of technology. They're not going away. They're involved in almost everything. And then the 4th one is a bit controversial because of other programming languages out there, but it is proving time and again to be exactly what you need to get started with an endeavor just such as this, where it's not assuming that you're some comp sci student going into college to spend 4 years learning this, but someone with a casual interest who would like a set of tools that they could carry around with them for the rest of their lives, which is entirely applicable to almost any technology problems, such as launching websites, controlling robots, home automation, or anything else you could imagine. And in the end, what I'm trying to do is to empower you on a level like the 3 R's of education, with the 4th R being programming. Some would argue the 4th R is reason, and I would say same thing, so that you can achieve a sort of natural mastery over languages of technology the same way that you achieve mastery over the spoken language, so that you can express technology ideas just as easily as you can speak or write. So please fund me, and I will be taking you through systematic lessons, sometimes whiteboarding like this, sometimes coding, documenting every step of the way so that you can pick it apart and follow my path to a point where you can take off in your own directions. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to talk to you again soon.